Today we're going to see how far the 2017 RadCity can go on throttle only. So I'm here in Connecticut on the Farmington Canal Trail. Basically it's a pretty long paved flat trail that runs from New Haven, and I don't know how far up it goes, but we're going to be riding on this trail here. It's fairly flat, so hills shouldn't be too much of a factor into this test. Tire pressure is at 35 psi on both wheels. And as far as extra weight on the bike, I took off my child seat. The only other things are pretty negligible weight, but the iPhone case, my GoPro mount here, the bottle cage, full water bottle here, and then my pretty big kryptonite lock. I weigh about 155. So I'm gonna hop on, I'm gonna start riding, and then I'll film every so often just to kind of show my progress, the batteries, yeah, and obviously we're on a full charge here. So yep, let's get going. All right, so I made a stop at 10 miles on the Farmington Canal Trail. We started at 2:40 p.m. And 10 miles was exactly to this bench here. We got here at around 3:10, so it took about half an hour, or pretty much half an hour exact, to go 10 miles. So that means that my average miles per hour for the 10 miles was 20 miles per hour. I'm trying to keep my wattage at around 400 to 500 watts, especially when starting off. You can do full throttle and it'll go to 750 watts. I know that there's one YouTube video already up where, you know, the guy's just kind of full-blown 750 watts no matter what, and see how far you can go. This one, I don't really like to put that much stress on my motor. I like to keep things within, you know, try not to go no more than 500 watts. So that, and then also once you get up to around 21 miles per hour, even if you're full throttle, the wattage kind of tapers off. So even if you're full throttle, it won't, you know, go no more than 500 watts. And if you're going slightly downhill as well, full throttle, and you're up to 22 miles per hour, 23 miles per hour, the wattage continues to taper down as well. But on flat, full throttle, I'm at, you know, the max 40 kilometers per hour, which is close to 25 miles per hour. And my max speed that I hit is only around like 22 miles per hour, 21, 22 miles per hour. So yeah, so we're here at 10 miles. I'm going to head back just to make sure that, you know, I can make it back home. Once we get back to our starting point, I'll turn around again. I'll continue a few miles in the same direction and then come back, and just to make sure that I have enough juice or juice to get home. Another thing to mention, we're at 3 bars, and yeah, so I'm gonna head back, and it should be another 10 miles to our starting point. So at around 13 miles, the battery went down to 1 bar. So we'll see how far this 1 bar can take us. All right, so we made it back to our starting spot, 20 miles. And it was about another half an hour. So average speed 20 miles per hour for the entire 20-mile trip. As far as this goes, on a nice flat paved area, this bike can go 20 miles. So what I'm going to do now is continue on in maybe 1 or 2 mile increments. I'll go 1 mile in, 1 mile back, and then just keep going. I'll keep it, maybe 1, maybe 2 mile increments. We'll see how I feel until the battery starts to flash. So once the battery flashes, the motor will kick out because there's insufficient power to drive the motor, and that's when I'm going to call it. I'm going to continue and we'll see how far I can go. There's the blinking light, 22.6 miles until that first blinking light. So not too bad with just throttle only. So when the motor cut out, I was doing around 300, 400 watts, and then the motor cut out, the light started to blink. I was going around 21 miles per hour. I'll put my pedal assist to 1, nice and easy. That should output about 70, 80 watts, somewhere around there. And then I'll just pedal along with that. And keeping the wattage low, I'm pretty confident I'll be able to make it home. So what I decided to do from 20 miles was do 2 miles out and then 2 miles in. So I made it 2 miles out, and then when I turned around, 0.6 miles back, the motor cut out. So if I only did 1 mile, I would have been closer to home, but that's all right. I mean, again, based on what I know from my past experience, if I don't try to, at this point when the battery is so low, if I don't try to drive the motor too hard, keep it at 80 watts, somewhere under 100 watts, I know for sure I'll be able to squeak out a couple more miles while pedaling. So that's about it. 22.6 miles, throttle only, on the 2017 RadCity.